Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well. As for me, another workday completed. Very, very grateful. A warm day, as usual, but it's over. It's funny, where I come from, everyone thinks that it's just known for cold weather. I don't know if I told everyone, but I'm from Buffalo, New York. And I know a lot of people think that when they think of Buffalo, they always think of like cold weather. It's always snowing and everything, but nothing can be further from the truth. What I love about being from where I'm from is we have all four seasons, but what we have more than anything is winter and summer. What I mean by that is in the wintertime, we get snow and we get lots of it. But then in the summer, it is this extreme heat. It's chock full of humidity, and I think that's what makes it the most unbearable thing about living here is we get so much humidity, and that's what we're dealing with this summer. We're having an extremely warm summer. I guess it's pretty warm everywhere, so I guess we shouldn't be complaining, but it's the extreme humidity that's really just getting to me, kicking my butt. But, you know, with seasons come changes. And it's funny that I'm talking about that because that's what I want to talk about is change. Um, Change is hard. And I have some changes coming up in my life. And I'm expecting the changes, but I'm not too sure when the change is going to happen. And that is terrifying to me. I am someone that likes control, and so much of life is out of your control. I firmly believe that, you can't control things in life, but you can control your reactions to things. And lately, I've been grappling with the fact that there's some changes coming up that are out of my control. I've been awaiting news on something that has been going on for actually a couple years now. And I am just getting more and more anxious the more I think about it. I try to like take it out of my mind and let go and let God, but it's easier said than done. I always feel like when I say let go and let God, I always feel like I need to be his personal assistant. Like I need to somehow remind him, hey, I'm over here. I'm waiting change. You want to help me over here? And I realize he doesn't need an assistant. And if he did, he would not need me. I'm not punctual. Always late for everything. Believe you me, I would not be one to be hired as a secretary for anyone, much less the Lord. But I was thinking about change and how it can be scary but exciting at the same time, and how change requires patience, and patience really is a virtue. I myself come from a family where I was raised by someone who had no patience. And it was always something that was rather embarrassing to me when I was young. My mother, I love her so much. I miss her so much, but she had no patience. I mean, when I was a kid, if we went through a drive through, I was always very particular. I didn't like onions on my burgers. And every time we ordered a burger from like McDonald's or Burger King, I would always ask for my burger to have no onions. As an adult, I love onions, but as a little kid, I just didn't like them. I always thought when they were chopped up, they looked like little teeth, and I just didn't like them. And my mother would always say, just take a napkin and wipe them off. And that's what I would do most of the times. But when I had a preference, I would always ask for no onions. And that would cause my mother to go into a complete conniption fit. She would tell me how I was holding up the line, how I was holding her up, and she would lose her patience very quickly. And I never understood how it would take this normally perfectly lovely person and turn her into this monster, into this completely unreasonable person. And I was like, geez, what is your problem, lady? And she would always tell me, I have no patience. And I always swore when I was a kid that when I grew up, I was not going to be like her in that aspect. But I was going to have patience, and that I was going to take my time and not lose my cool over something that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. And for the most part, I've kept my cool. And it takes a lot to get me to the point where I'm impatient. But in this particular circumstance that I'm in right now, my impatience is getting the best of me. And so I really had a talk with myself and just tell myself, listen, this is out of your control. You're just going to have to trust the process and accept it however that turns out. You have options, there's things you can do, but I'm really at the mercy of the situation. And it's kind of terrifying and frustrating all at the same time. So today was a particularly stressful day for me. And when I get stressed, I start thinking and worrying about things that aren't even anything to do with today. It could be about things that are like a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, things that may never even be. But in my mind, I've turned it into something that, sorry, I need to switch hands. I've turned it into something that just eats at me. And I notice myself becoming someone that I don't want to be. And it brings out things about me that I'm not too happy with. And I need to get in touch and in control of my emotions. And I always try to remember that I can't control the situation, but I can control my reaction to the situation. And I try to use some of my grounding techniques like breathing and being in the logical mind instead of the emotional mind. You may hear me talk about that a lot. It was like this breakthrough I had in counseling, and I'm telling you, it was like an epiphany. It was like, it made so much sense to me. There's like three types of minds. The only two I can really recall are the emotional mind and the logical mind. I think that's because those are the two that I focus the most on. Basically, I spend most of my time in my emotional mind. And
What's this?
I'm
What's
sorry,
happening? What's going on?
it's my phone. I spend most of my time in my emotional mind, and I spend most of my time wishing I was in my logical mind. I'm so sorry I forgot to turn the volume down on my phone. I feel like such a dummy. That won't happen again, I promise. I could have sworn I turned the volume down, but oh well. I don't know how to edit yet, so I can't take it out. So please forgive me for that. So, like I was saying, there is a third mind, and as soon as it comes to my mind, I will make sure that I mention it in my next video. But that's what I wanted to talk about today was patience. I know I'm not the only one that struggles with patience and waiting for things to happen naturally and fighting the urge to want to make things happen for yourself. I feel like we could get into real trouble making things happen because it's not organic. It doesn't happen naturally. I find that in my everyday life. Sometimes if you try to, I'm sorry, I'm outside. There's a dirt biker. Here he comes again. This guy goes non-stop. He is like Evel Knievel. He's everywhere. I'll see him like 5 blocks from my house. And he never wears a helmet, which just scares me, but I digress. Here he comes again. Dude, I'm trying to make a video here. Okay, but hopefully he won't do it again. If he does, I'm going to cut this short. Okay. It's funny that I'm talking about patience and he's trying mine, so I am going to wrap it up rather quickly. But what I wanted to say is that I do think you have to trust the process and not rush things, because I think when we do that, we miss the little nuances, and there could be a reason, a very good reason, why things have to take the time that they have to take. And I'm not only giving you guys a pep talk, I'm giving myself a pep talk and trying to talk myself out of the emotional mind and back into the logical mind. I don't want to sound like a walking, talking self-help book, but I really do feel that that grounds me and it makes perfect sense. But I do feel like if anyone out there is struggling with patience, no, you're not alone. I'm struggling with it too. I really like the shirt that I'm wearing. I don't mean to be off topic, but I used to struggle forever with not wanting to show my arms. It was a silly thing because I had like extra blubber on my arms. I let go of that years ago. It was just something that came to my mind because I had a conversation with someone who told me they loved my shirt, but that they would never show it because they were afraid to show their arms. And I was kind of perplexed, like, why be afraid to show your arms? At least you're lucky enough to have them. And then I had to remember, hey, that was you at one time. And I was like, oh, yeah. So then I had to say, hey, good on you, Kel. That's some growth. That used to be you that was full of self-doubt. So while I'm working on patience, I guess I should work on gratitude and be grateful that I'm not that same person that was self-conscious about a shirt. And by the way, if you are warm and you find a top that you like and it happens to be sleeveless, who cares what other people think? They're always going to have an opinion one way or the other. Just do you. If they make it in your size and you like it and it's flattering to you, go for it. You're wearing it for you, not other people, hopefully. But that's my little story today. I'm working and struggling with my patience. As usual, I always feel better after I make a video talking to you guys. I feel much more grounded now. And it's amazing how these videos really help me. And it helps me talking to you guys. And I'm so grateful I made it through another weekend of work. It's over, it's done, it's in the books. It's time to move onward and upward. And I hope this video finds you well, like all my videos. And for all the new subscribers, thank you so much. And for all these subscribers that have stuck with me, thank you. I wouldn't be doing this without you guys. I really appreciate everything you do. And I do sincerely from the bottom of my heart wish you well. And until I talk to you again, take care. And the dirt biker is gone. Have a nice night. Bye.